Hi, this is Happy Bird from happybirdsglitternest.blogspot.com, and today I'm going to show you how to make this adorable and easy little retro Santa ornament. This turned out pretty cute, and I think you're really going to enjoy this video. So stay tuned and I'll show you exactly how I put this together. Okay, so to start, you're going to need a 3-inch punch. That's what I used. And you're going to need to punch out 5 circles from 110-pound white cardstock. Okay, and I can give a link on my blog at happybirdsglitternest.blogspot.com as to where I purchase my 110-pound cardstock. Now, I have heard that Walmart also carries it, but it is a different brand, and I've never tried it. But you might want to try that as well. I think it's about half the price as Amazon. So, with that said, you're going to glue those circles together with the Beacon Fabri-Tac, and just put the glue on it, and one by one stack these together and make them nice and even and flat, and just allow all your bases to dry overnight, and then they will turn out like this. See how rock hard this is? It becomes really hard once the glue dries. Okay, so then next you're going to need some little vintage Santa heads. Now, I purchased this from Hobby Lobby. There's 20 pieces. I did not pay $3.99. Right now all the Christmas crafts are 50% off, and so I picked up one package of these. I've actually seen these now. I think this is the 3rd year in a row that I've seen these little vintage Santas at Hobby Lobby. Now, if you don't have access to a Hobby Lobby, let's say you're from a different country, don't worry about it. You can find Christmas cards and cut those images out. You can purchase images online on Etsy. Just make sure they're not any taller than 2.5 inches. That's the measurement of these, 2.5 inches, and I'll show you up close. Okay? And so with that said, we'll move on and I'll show you the next step. Okay, so I have my little vintage Santa. So I want to put some ultra fine white iridescent glitter on his beard and maybe the white part of his hat and his little pom-pom. Okay, so all I'm going to do is going to take some of this Mod Podge matte that I purchased from the Dollar Tree, and I'm going to put some in the cup here, if you can see it. I'm going to take a small soft nylon brush, dip it in the Mod Podge, and I'll start with his beard and his little pom-pom. I'm going to try to make sure that I get all the edges just like that, all the way around. And that's why I'm using the small brush, because you have some areas that you need to go into that are going to require a small brush. Now, I'm not doing his mustache. I might just leave that, the glitter off that part. I don't know. I'll have to think about that one. Make sure I get the ends, or the edges, I mean. Make sure everything's covered. And make sure the little pom-pom is covered. up here. I'm going to leave it, like I said, I'm going to leave his mustache uncovered right now. And get around the edges of his mouth. I might need to just turn this a little bit. Edges of his mouth. Oops, I got my finger in it. Okay, and then his little fur trim on his hat. Just like so. I need to get this up closer, I think, huh? So you guys can see. I'm going to go around the holly on his hat. I guess it really doesn't matter because we're going to be covering up that holly anyway with something else. I'll show that to you a little later on after this dries. Okay. The edges here, that's part of his beard. I think. Okay. Like I said, I'm just going to leave his mustache. I'm not going to mess with that on, I think it might be a little too much if I do his mustache. So, I'm just using up this white iridescent glitter that I have left in this bottle. You can use anything you want. I really do love the Recollections brand ultrafine glitter, and you can find that at Michael's. It's called Glitz, and once again it is ultrafine. I don't really go to Michael's anymore, so, but I might have to make a special trip out there just for that glitter, because I really do like it. And it, unfortunately, Hobby Lobby does not carry the Recollections glitter. And don't worry about any of the excess glitter spilling. Once we shake that off, you can use your paper towel or paper plate, whatever you're painting on, and fold it in half and then pour the excess glitter back in your container. Okay. Move this out of the way. Now, you can leave it like this until it dries and then shake your glitter off, or you can do this. And don't worry if you need to touch up some areas afterwards. That's perfectly fine. I'm going to turn it over like this. Maybe tap it a few times. Okay. There we go. So that looks pretty good. I don't know if you can see the shine or not. I might have to, well, I may not have to go in there and touch up around here, because I think what I have that I'm going to put on here will cover it up anyway. But if you see any little areas like this, see this little edge like that, you might want to do a little touch up there, a little touch up here. You can see it, but let it dry first and then do the touch up, and it'll turn out really cute. So as you can see, now you know why I use the fine glitter. If this had been chunky, his face would have been absolutely lost in it. So we'll go ahead and allow this to dry. I'll touch up the edges and allow that to dry, and then we'll be back. Okay, so I already glued one side, so now I'm going to do the back. Now, I will tell you, make sure that your hands are free of any of the Fabri-Tac glue, because it will show up on the foil if you have wet glue in your hands and you try to place the the foil on there, so always use a little wipe in between, okay? And we're going to do the same thing as we did to the other foil. I'm going to put a little bit of Fabri-Tac glue close to the edges. Now I'm going to set this down, but I'm going to pick up my wipe quickly and wipe off any Fabri-Tac I have on my hands. And then you're going to press down like this and just kind of fan outwards. Put this in the middle. There we go. Just like that. Okay. And see, there's a little bit of glue around the edge, so be careful. I'll take my baby wipe and wipe my fingers again. Okay. So that way when you're handling the ornament, putting things on, it won't be that bad. Okay. So the next little thing that we're going to do is we're going to add, actually, let me get something first. Hold on. Okay, so the next thing that you're going to need is this white pom-pom trim. And you can get the 3-yard spools at Hobby Lobby. And normally priced they're $2.99, but a couple of times a month they will have all their spools of trim and ribbon and tulle for 50% off, okay? And it's in the fabric section. So I cut about 10.5 inches of this. I gave myself just a hair more at the ends in case I needed to kind of wiggle things around or do whatever, okay? So the first thing I did is I put a little bit of Fabri-Tac on here already, and I'm just going to go around like this. Now this is the back, okay? And be careful because you don't want to get your hands in any glue. Alright, and see, you look at it from the front and you see the pom-poms. And I'm doing just a little section at a time. It's hard for me to see around the camera sometimes when I'm working with crafts. Okay, and then I'll put the last part on. Now there's a little extra, like I showed you. So I think we're going to cut that at about here. Let's see what happens. Boy, I need to sharpen these scissors up. Maybe I'll cut a little more. Okay. There we go. Alright. So just be careful. With me, I have to be extra careful because I don't always see that well. My hands sometimes shake. Okay. When it's completely dry, we'll be back and I'll show you what else we need to do on this. Okay, I'm using a couple of these gold bales that I buy from Hobby Lobby. They come 6 to a package, and they're half off every couple of weeks. They go on sale, and they're usually anywhere from 40 to 50% off. And they do have them in silver as well. You get 6 in a package. Now I know you can purchase these bales online for a lot less if you're going to be mass producing these ornaments, but I'm not, so I just bought a little package. And half off, I think they're like $2. Okay. I'm not putting a ton of Fabri-Tac on here, just a little bit right here. Okay. You really don't want it seeping over the edges. And I'm just going to use my mat here to kind of line things up. And I'm just going to lay it down like this. And I'm going to do the exact same thing to the bottom here. I'm going to line everything up. And I'm just going to allow this to dry enough to where I can handle it and it's not going to fall apart. So I'll just kind of lift this up here. Try to line it up the best I can. About here, I think looks good. So I'll press that down. And I'm just going to let it dry. I'm not going to disturb it. There we go. I think that's lined up pretty good. Okay. All right. So I'm going to allow that to dry and we'll go on to the next step. Okay, so the next thing we're going to do is we're going to glue a little bow on. Now I used this 1/2" wire edged ribbon right here for the bow. I love using the wire edged ribbon because you can create a bow and you can adjust it and make it stand out any way or direction that you want, so it's not lying flat against the ornament. Now this little piece of bling here, I added that, I'll show you. I bought this from AliExpress, and they're 14mm, and I got 50 of them for $2.45, and that is including the shipping. And I just thought they were really pretty. And I bought them originally for flower centers, but I will put a link to where I bought these on my blog at happybirdsglitternest.blogspot.com. Okay, so if you're interested. And of course it'll be right where this project is. You just scroll down past all my free patterns, and when you see a picture of this project, it'll be right in there with it. So I'm going to add a little bit of Fabri-Tac to the top bale here. That's kind of yucko. So I'm going to lift this up, and I'm going to put it a little high, just a little tiny dot. Don't go overboard. You don't want it to look gluey. And I'm going to set my bow a little bit high, okay, so we can fit the Santa face on. All right. Now while that's drying, I'm going to show you the little Santa that we finished. I thought it turned out really cute. I glued a little pom-pom here with my Fabri-Tac glue. I know I put glitter on his pom-pom originally, but I didn't think of it at the time. I thought, why did I do that? I can just glue a little pom-pom. So that's what I did, and it kind of matches up with the trim around here too. So the next thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to add a little something up here just to make Santa a little more 3D. I bought these tiny little stickers at Hobby Lobby last Christmas, and I believe I paid like 70% off or something like that. So I've used a few since then, but I'm going to take one out. And I think this is just the perfect size for this particular Santa's head. And try to get it where it kind of covers up the leaves underneath, and I think that looks pretty good actually. It's very tiny, and I thought it would be nice to put a little wordage there on the side of his beard. So I bought these from Hobby Lobby as well. These were on sale, and this is the stickabilities, and so I didn't pay that price. I think it was half off. And so some of the words, they give you, I think, a couple of sheets of these words. Yeah, 2 sheets. And as you can see, there's different ones: love, pray, mercy, grace, hope, peace, joy, all kinds of different words. I think I'm going to maybe use this word that says joy. I'm going to bend this though, because that way it gives you a start when you bend it, and then you can pull it off. If you try to pick it off with your fingernail, you're going to rough up these edges, and it's not going to look very good. Okay, so when you're pulling these off, just bend the sheet in half to help you get this up. Now, if you don't feel like it will stick here, you can put just a smidgen of the clear Elmer's glue, and I'm talking about the kind that looks like water in the bottle, like clear water. And you can put just a smidge in here, but I think this will stick fine for what I need, but that's just in case you want to do that. Yeah, it seems to be sticking very well. And here we go. Okay, so now we're going to place this on here, on this part, and what you're going to need, show you. Dollar Tree has this foam mounting tape for different projects. It's in the craft section. I think there's like 3 different sizes in the package. And so I'm just taking a piece of that and cutting it. You can use the pop-up dots they have. You can use anything, but I really like this tape. It really sticks. So just going to add that there. And then pull this off right here. Oh, you know what? I'm going to set this down for a second. I want to make sure that, yeah, see, this is still drying. So I'm going to give this a few more minutes to dry, and then we'll add that because I don't want to mess things up. Okay, we'll be back. Okay, so now you're going to place your Santa where you think he needs to be. Now be careful, because you don't want to press down. Once you press it down even a little bit, it really sticks. So, you know, make sure you have it where you want it first, and then press down like this. Isn't that cute? Okay, so now we have one last final touch. And I bought these bells at Hobby Lobby, and these are large bells, and I really like them. They're good quality, and the paint job on them is really nice. I don't care for the ones they sell at the Dollar Tree, because if you look closely at them, the paint job is not very good, and they sometimes miss spots on the bell. And besides that, these are larger, so These were $2.49 for this big bag. They have them in green as well, in this size, and gold. You know, I think I'm going to measure it for you. This is 20 millimeters in width. Okay? And I forgot to tell you too, the bales that I put on here, they are 24 millimeter in height, okay, and 8 millimeter in width. Okay. Let me get a little jump ring. Okay, so I added a little 9 millimeter jump ring that I purchased from Hobby Lobby in a package. And I would highly recommend using the 9 millimeter. If you can't find 9 millimeter, I would go for 10 millimeter. Okay, don't go any less than 9 millimeter, or it'll be awkward to put this size bell on here. Okay, so I'm just going to open it up a little. And there we go. So we have our little bell. Okay, I'm using this metallic gold beading thread, and it's not the stretchy kind. It's just, you know, regular gold beading thread. And I cut about 10 inches off it. And I'm just going to slip it through the top here. And tie this in a couple of overhand knots. Here, let's try that again. Alright, I'm going to pull it very tight and snip off the ends. And then what I do is I just kind of put the knot down here. I just kind of move it around to where the dot is, or the knot, not the dot, where the knot is hidden, like that. And this is how it turned out. And I think it makes a really cute little retro ornament. So with that said, I hope you enjoyed this tutorial, and be sure to catch next week's tutorial as well. It'll be another bling bling ornament. I think you're really going to enjoy it. So take care, and God bless each and every one of you, and have a very Merry Christmas. Bye-bye for now.